Get out.
That is so cool.
Hey guys, welcome back to our reaction to Andor. We are watching episode 5 today, and we are really excited. We're looking forward to this episode, and we're really enjoying this show. Oh, so many good things.
Luthen is
we love Luthen.
Antiquities dealer, it seems.
Chad.
Yeah. Mon Mothma is mad at her hubby for throwing a party with all of the senators that hate her. And Andor, otherwise known as
Clemmy boy,
is working with a team that does not trust him to steal a bunch of stuff from the Empire.
Oh, and there's gonna be a crazy meteor shower apparently.
Yeah.
They're gonna escape in.
The show is really well done.
Oh, and what's his name went home to his mommy?
It's one of these things where it's almost like an underground show. A lot of YouTubers that we follow at least have commented on the fact that their videos aren't getting as many views as some of their other videos when it comes to Andor. The same is true for ours. You know, a lot of our subscribers have joined our channel because of our Obi-Wan reactions, because of our Book of Boba Fett reactions. And so we expected a lot of people to be excited about Andor, but it's kind of a sleeper show at this point still. So hopefully it continues to grow in viewership and people really respond to Andor well, because we think it's great. It's on another level than something like Rings of Power for us. Even some of the other Star Wars shows that we've reacted to, there's a lot of intentionality that goes with it, and so we are really thrilled to be watching it and super excited. Let's get into this episode of Andor, but before we do, we want to invite you to join our Patreon, where we have and will continue to have, as we grow in our Patreon, special perks like early access to shows, to different shows that we're going to be doing, not these premiere releases, but like shows that we haven't seen before, polls and full-length reactions to everything that we do as often as we can. So yeah, go ahead and join our Patreon if you want to support our channel and help us grow. We work, we're actually business owners, and so a lot of our lives are devoted to that, of course, but we love doing this as a side thing, and we love having fun doing it, and we love having fun with all of you. So if you want to help support this and our channel and help build it up, then go ahead and visit our Patreon. But without further ado, let's watch this episode of Andor.
It's raining.
It's like,
I think,
millennials after they move back home.
He's so sad.
So emotional.
Buddy, that's his childhood room. Oh my gosh.
Meiloorun.
Meiloorun.
Can't help but notice. Blue milk.
By the time you've remembered to sit
The
up,
Space Cocoa Puffs.
Oh my gosh.
I promise to disappoint you.
Interesting opening to this episode. They really are wanting us to kind of sink into the fact that that's a character that is one we're supposed to feel sympathetic towards.
You know what this means, don't you? Yeah, I saw your eyes go right to it.
Great head.
I got no idea.
Crate head.
What about this?
Those like yangs?
Oh, you didn't miss anything.
So pretty.
So pretty. Such cool set design. I can't believe it. How cool it looks.
Floris,
Yes.
is Lida ready?
I'm not sure.
Where is she? Lida?
She has a daughter?
I guess so.
When would that have happened? Just
Get your coat. That's just...
nobody cares. You can relax.
That's just so hurtful. Is this really how you'd like to start the day?
I didn't choose this conversation.
Wow, I really don't like her husband.
Oof.
Wow.
I so appreciate the support.
Yeah, he's like,
Dude,
ew, he's so gross.
deadbeat.
He's like, I'm enjoying this.
He's just-
Like
Bro.
the facial expressions he's making.
Things like freedom.
Nemik sees oppression everywhere.
Skeen pretends not to listen, but I know the message is sinking in. I mean, it's so confusing, isn't it? So much going wrong, so much to say, and all of it happening so quickly. The pace of repression outstrips our ability to understand it, and that is the real trick of the Imperial thought machine. It's easier to hide behind 40 atrocities than a single incident. But they have a fight on their hands, don't they? Our elemental rights are such a simple thing to hold, they will have to shake the galaxy awfully hard to loosen our grip.
I'd like to hear what Clem believes. Now you've done it.
Haven't titled it yet, I've been waiting. It's a work in progress, and I know that there's a great deal left to say.
Thought leaders in Star Wars.
Right here. This charts an astral path, this maps the trail of political consciousness. Both systems based on truth, both navigating toward clear and achievable outcomes. Basic facts expanding
Clem?
That's pretty cool.
to be continued.
The idea of like the political revolutionary not just being a fighter but a thinker, which is more accurate to how the world really works.
Trust him.
Yeah, that's cool.
I barely trust
That is really cool. We hold these truths to be self-evident. That's what that reminds me of.
What about?
How would
We can say it's your idea. I don't care, but if it's my ass on the line, I'm pulling this thing out of there.
Okay.
Okay.
This I feel like is answering the one of the big questions I had about this is why did Luthen find Cassian to be valuable? And we're seeing him school these people.
He's had a lot of valuable training and stuff.
Yeah.
You are Imperial Private Clem. You're a sentry from the Alkenzi airbase transferred for special duty. Can you walk like a soldier?
I've seen it done.
I thought he used to be in the
He was.
Imperial Army.
He was, but
Okay.
for one thing, he was a cook.
Right, right.
For another thing, they don't know that. They don't know that he's Cassian. He's Clem. Right? So many things to keep track of.
No, you're taking the assignment. I was asking if this would do as your headquarters.
Uh-oh. Frick. Get out.
cover the gun?
Hi.
Run! Run!
Go, 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 go!
Yeah, how do they protect against, like, people just stumbling into what they're doing?
Get out.
That is so cool!
I'm just moving your stuff.
Don't.
It was in the way.
Don't ever.
I feel weird about this guy.
Hey,
You think he's a
yourself.
rat?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I feel like I expect at least one of them to
Something's
be...
gonna go wrong. You gotta know.
Yeah, I especially suspect that one of them is not who they say they are. And I can't tell
They're gonna betray.
who that would be.
About any of it. Yes, you do. You're onto something. Kessel. Fondor. Targeting consoles from Jakku.
Jakku,
More
Kessel.
Base K, the Steerguard Star Path.
I want it painted the day after tomorrow. I'll be here midday and I expect to see it shine.
Absolutely,
Yes,
sir.
Make sure the men know how close they've come.
This is what they're stealing, I bet.
Oh, he's happy because they were like, we don't want that many people down here
Right.
because we want to be watching the show.
And it helps his cover that he was trying to get them to be there. Oh!
Because you know what'll happen.
You called it.
What are you doing?
Yeah, well, I don't know. What is going on?
There we go. I knew it. I knew you were lying. I knew it.
What?
What is it?
What does that have to do with anything?
Sky Kyber. He's been hiding it.
Skeen?
Okay, so I guess we know it's not a fake, huh?
It's your call.
Let's not go too far, Clem.
I just want what's mine.
Yeah, don't put me on the spot.
Enough! Everyone stands down. Everyone!
There's something coming. There's a ship in the valley.
This is really, yeah,
Move.
not
Put the weapons
convenient
away.
timing,
Give them the
guys.
stone, you can kill each other later.
I'm being paid.
Wow.
Paid to be here.
Yeah, obviously.
You need to know? That's it. You can't live with that? I'm not worth it? I'll walk away and wish you luck. But that's what it is. The day before is always hard. Too much time to worry.
You think we're scared?
I know you are. Of course I'm afraid. But there's a difference between fear and losing your nerve. You want out of this. Make a choice. Don't use me as an excuse.
Let's get to the camp in one piece. You can all chew on it there. Move.
This is tense.
The political idealist is all hurt. I forgot his name.
Yeah. He was like, only the money?
He's like someone who doesn't believe. Wow, Coruscant at night.
So we talking to guard for you.
You're busy tonight. Oh, didn't think you'd...
Their marriage is so bad.
Yikes.
I hate it. These scenes make me so uncomfortable. Wow.
Savage.
Yeah, these scenes make me really uncomfortable. I'm like, I shouldn't be here looking at this.
Cloris.
Sir.
Would you mind taking the expressway?
Yes, sir.
The lights. So shiny.
That's so cool to see. I love the aesthetic of this.
That guy's my favorite.
Maybe he's the
No.
Maybe he's the mole.
No. What are you doing, bro? Is he just gonna go rogue and go find him?
I bet that's where they're going with that. Doesn't have any prospects, so he's gonna go for revenge.
What matters is they killed him. He was a farmer. I always hated the Empire. I don't really know what to call how I feel now.
What kind of farm?
Trees.
Tree farm.
Trees.
Pepper trees.
Centuries of them.
That's so cool. And sad.
What you doing, old buddy?
I thought you were turning it off.
Those holocrons, they look so cool. Look at those.
Not keeping you up?
I don't like seeing you nervous. There's nothing else you can do, Luthen. They're either going to be okay out there or they're not.
What? That's a daring prediction.
You wanted this to happen. This is what it took. It's never going to be perfect.
I wanted it too much.
Who do you think this lady is?
I don't know. They're very like
On equal footing?
yeah.
Yeah.
Or would it just be starting?
Stop.
No, really? We don't even get to see it start yet. Ah. I wanted it to. Meh. Every episode, I just feel annoyed at the end.
The thing that displeases me about this show is that I feel as though, like, I obviously didn't feel this way with the third episode, and I get that they're kind of doing like the Clone Wars 3-episode arc structure. Because that's kind of how Clone Wars is you have 3 or 4 episodes of a story, you know?
Yeah.
And obviously there's some overarching things, but there's no, like, you have full episodes with no action, right? And that's fine. Because it's all character development, and it's all different characters all feeding into this one kind of unified tale. But it makes me sad because when we watched Clone Wars for the first time, we were able to watch 3 at a time. And that's normally what we did, is we would watch 3 at a time. We'd say, all right, let's watch an arc when we watch it, you know? And for this, it's like, oh, you gotta wait 7 days for the next episode to see where this is going. And it's like, it's a bother.
This did feel like it was stretching out, where it's like another whole episode of prep. Like the last one was prep, and then it's like this whole
Well, the last one
episode
was
is, like,
set up for prep. I feel like it wasn't even the
Pre-prep,
prep. It was pre-prep. Prep.
and we don't
Yeah.
even, like, I was like, okay, like, are we gonna start the mission? But it's like they're not even starting it yet.
You got right to the cusp of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's all going to be the next episode.
It's a slow build, I know, but I'm impatient because I want to see.
Yeah, it's very frustrating. It's frustrating in a good way because I'm engaged and every scene is engaging to me and I am enjoying the different like elements of the story, but it is frustrating. So that is my complaint about this show, is that it is one of these things where so little happens. It's not that little, like, it's not that little is happening. A lot happens in an episode. It's more like you're just given drips.
Everything is subtle.
You're given little drips. And I know from the first 3 episodes that the payoff is going to be there because it was there for the first 3 episodes. And I know from the trailers that there will be action. I'm just really eager to see it, and I'm disappointed that we didn't get at least a little bit of excitement. But what we did get, I liked.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the dichotomy there.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just a subtle show.
It's one of these things where most of the scenes are communicating ideas rather than communicating plot. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Whereas a lot of just conventional storytelling, conventional shows, Hollywood, for general audiences, most of the dialogue is to communicate the plot and certain character quirks or character traits. And then you have moments where it's communicating ideas. In this, it's the reverse. Most of, I feel like, what's going on is communicating a general idea of the scene, rather than just like the plot points, because the plot points are very bare, where they feel like there's just a handful of plot details that you need to remember. Mon Mothma is having a party and has a bad relationship with her husband and her daughter. They're looking to do this big ol' heist and they don't trust each other.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and this guy is a deadbeat millennial who doesn't have any prospects, and I don't mean that insulting to anyone. I just mean that's kind of the trope that they're conveying here. And so it's like there's like just these ideas that are woven into those simple plot points. You know what I mean?
There's a lot of details, though. There's a lot of details constantly to pay attention to, but they're there to communicate the ideas.
Yeah. Well, the thing is that like with writing a show like this, I find, or writing any story like this, I find that it is often the case that you have like lots of little details. So if you watch, it's kind of in the same style as like a political thriller or something like that, where or like a Christopher Nolan movie where there's a lot of small little things that you have to like file away in your brain throughout the story. But none of it is super essential, because what's essential is kind of more so you being immersed and the sense that you are getting what the movie is trying to convey to you and what the story is trying to convey to you on a thematic level. You know what I mean? And with things like Obi-Wan or the Book of Boba Fett and even Marvel, lots of the conventional things, it's less about like the ideas that are presented. It's less about that. It's more about like, here, what are the moments that we're giving people that are interesting and entertaining? You know what I mean? But for this, it's just a little bit smarter. and a little bit more reserved. And the least, I was talking with someone about this week, it's the least self-indulgent thing for a tentpole IP that Hollywood has put out in years. You know what I mean? Meaning it's not like at all about Star Wars on the surface level in what it looks like. But in many ways, it very much is 100% about Star Wars because it's capturing the essence of rebellion, of, a tyrannical empire. Like, these are the things that George Lucas, this is the kind of story that he was telling. He was telling it in a different way, but it's still telling that story from a different angle. And so it's like not being self-indulgent about being pop culture Star Wars. It's more focused on the theme that Star Wars presents, underlying undertone of the entire story. So in all of that, my only critique is from a presentation level, they should release 3 episodes at a time. You know what I mean? Or they should have combined, maybe make it 2 episodes.
I did feel like it was a little weird, the Syril scenes, because there was only a few of them, like 3 or something, or like 2 main scenes of him talking with his mom, and both of them were talking at the table, and it was like one near the beginning, and then way later, suddenly we're back with them in the kitchen at the same spot, has any time passed? It's a little like disorienting.
No, clearly it was because she had a conversation with someone else.
Yeah, but it just, like, at first you're like, wait, what? And then it's like, oh, okay, but they're back here eating cereal. Like, that's interesting. It just felt a little bit random because nothing really happened with that. She was just like, you're a failure. I need to talk to your uncle. And he's sitting in his room. Like, it didn't really, I feel like, I don't know. Because a lot was focused on this other storyline.
I think the point is that they're trying to they're just trying to set up the ways in which he's going to influence the story later on. And so they've kind of like written those 2 scenes into this episode just as little seeds for what is to come. And I get that, but you're right. It's one of these things where you're giving us such minute drips, you know what I mean? A couple minutes of this character in a week, that it feels like, oh no, you know what I mean? Like, I am interested, but you also are deflating that interest, or deflating the excitement or the tension buildup because I'm waiting.
Yeah,
they should have released 3 episode arcs, or released it all at once. In my opinion, like a Stranger Things type deal. Because it's interesting, like Stranger Things, in that I want to watch the next episode. Whenever I watch an episode, I'm like, I want to get to the next one. But I can't. I'm kept from doing that. So I don't know if I'm coming off as too complainy. It's just one of these things where I love Star Wars so much, and I am enjoying this show so much that it makes me feel sad that I can't continue it until 7 days from now. So
why?
It's a long time.
Back in the old days, people had to wait every week for live TV to air. It's like that, but happening again.
Yeah. Predictions? Who's the mole?
I don't know if there is one. They did follow up with that guy where it seems like he has his motivation and maybe he was just being mistrusting. But I do feel like it's likely that something goes wrong.
I feel like it's the political idealist guy. It's the writer, because it's like, how do you convince the rebels that you're like on their side? You communicate, you be their thought leader. I don't know. You know what I mean? They did that in Rebels already. Spoilers for Rebels, when they have the radio, the guy that sends out the radio transmissions and stuff like that. And he's actually on the side of the Imperials. You know what I mean? Where he'll like do these like broadcasts and then he'll like come to a system and like rally all of the rebels of that system to him, and then it will be an Imperial trap, basically. You know what I mean? And so maybe it could be something like that, where he's a plant and he is the least expected because of how sincere and genuine he seems about his leanings. You know what I mean? Who knows? Who knows? I don't know. I don't want to think I think that something that they've done really well, especially in the Disney era, is present in The Mandalorian and in different things that like there are genuinely people on the side of the Empire that actually believe in it. You know what I mean? And so again, I'm not saying he is, but maybe he is. He's the only one I could think would be the most surprising. So.
Yeah, and I feel like clearly this guy's just brooding in his room. He's gonna somehow go after Cassian and he'll like trip him up later on.
Yeah, I don't know if that'll be in the next episode.
Of something.
Right.
He's kind of like, it's kind of like the Zuko, like, motivation.
Yeah.
I gotta get my honor by getting this guy. Like, yeah.
Gotta find him to restore.
Yeah, he's like, this is all I have, basically. I don't have any prospects. If I can nab this guy, then I'll impress everyone.
Yeah, he kind of reminds me of that, like, character of, like, you kind of feel for him, but you don't like him. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So he's one of the more interesting ones because we focused on him so much in the first 3 episodes, too. So he's one of the more interesting elements of the show to me. He's more interesting than Cassian is. You know what I mean? And Cassian is interesting, but Cassian is so, Cassian is cutthroat and he only cares about...
He's predictable.
Yeah, he's in it for himself. They haven't given him any heroic motivation.
Yeah.
But this guy has a motivation of some sense of duty that makes him more interesting than Cassian, because he has actual motivation that isn't just himself, And obviously Cassian had the whole element of I'm looking for my sister, but they've not followed up on that. So anyway,
yeah,
we'll see where they go with that.
What do you guys think? Tell us your thoughts.
Tell us your thoughts on this episode and what you expect out of the following episode. Next week's episode, I'm sure, is going to be a blast. So we are having high hopes for that. And we did very much enjoy this episode. We are very much enjoying the show. But we look forward to seeing more in the future. So comment below.
Yes. Tell us what you thought. And if you agreed with us, if you disagree, relay. What am I saying? It's late. Yes, please like this video if you liked it and subscribe for more reactions and fun stuff. And go check out our Patreon. We've got a lot of exciting things in the works over there. And thank you so much for watching. And we'll see you in the next episode.
See you for Rings of Power on Friday.
See you then.
And next week for the next episode of Andor.
Bye.
Bye.